Joining us now for more on this is One Nation leader, Senator Pauline Hanson. Senator, I really appreciate your time this evening. Thank you for joining me. He's admitted to taking photos of women in Parliament. Is it time for Mark Latham to leave politics altogether?
Oh, I can only wish, Danica. I'd love to see the back end of that man. I thought he had something to offer Parliament. That's why I asked him to join One Nation and stand for us, and he won the seat under One Nation. Then, at the last election in New South Wales, he said, oh, look, I'd like to step down and go for an 8-year term. And I thought, well, OK. And he got his 8-year term. He did nothing to support the party. He did nothing to encourage people on. He did nothing during the election. And actually, we went backwards under Mark Latham. I've got no time for the man. I'm sick and tired of his false allegations that he's used against One Nation. He uses the floor of Parliament to spruik what he wants to, and he's not prepared to say it outside of Parliament. He's, in my opinion, I think he's rude, arrogant, self-centred, and I think he's past the time in politics, and I think he needs to get out of the game. And please, Mark, step aside, give the seat back to One Nation. That's who the people of New South Wales voted for, One Nation, not for you.
Well, Senator, let's not forget, this is a man who once wanted to be Prime Minister and came within a whisker of being so. He was also, as you said, a One Nation senator at one stage. Do you regret his association with your party?
Do I regret his association with my party? Of course I do. I wish I never... You know, I listened to him in his interviews and I thought, wow, you know, education and other things that you could bring to the Parliament and speak on behalf of the people. But once he was joined up, became a Member of Parliament, that wasn't the case. And I'm really disappointed, very disappointed. And of course the other members there, and Rod Roberts, who followed his footsteps and resigned from One Nation for no, you know, clear reason for it. A lot of hard work's gone into those supporters of One Nation, the team effort, voters and everyone like that. And not to have that representation on the floor of Parliament, it's been very hard for me. And so, like I said, I'll be honest, I hope to see the back end of him, and he's gone from politics. So I can understand how Labor, because Richo feels his photo should come down on the walls of the Labor Party there, and they've got more to say about him than what I have, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Senator, let's talk about Labor possibly considering a mining tax. This comes after the mining sector raised concerns that Labor could use its upcoming productivity roundtable to try and build momentum for new or increased taxes on the sector. The Attorney-General, Michelle Rowland, has dismissed this speculation. This is what she said.
When it comes to the productivity roundtable coming up, the Treasurer has been criticised for not inviting miners. Could we see a new mining tax? Is the government looking to increase taxes?
We're not looking at this. I think the fact that the productivity roundtable is being held demonstrates that, led by the most able Treasurer, that we have a broad agenda for reform.
Well, Senator, we'll remember that the carbon tax was a disaster under Julia Gillard. Labor is, of course, looking at tax reform, so who's not to say that they won't do this again?
I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them. And they tell you lies and mislead the people, and they've done it constantly in their time in Parliament and prior to the last election as well. You have the mining industry with the agricultural industry is the biggest exporter and also bringing money into the country, and over $100 billion brought in by the mining sector. Then you've got corporate tax, then you've got royalties, then you've actually got the PAYE. If they head down this path and destroy our mining industry and all the jobs that will go with it, we're going to be in dire straits and real problems in generating monies to provide the services that we need for the people in this country. I can't understand why they didn't invite the mining sector. They said they've got the Business Council of Australia that are attending it, that there's representation there. But when you've got the biggest industry in Australia that brings money to the coffers for the federal government, and they're not at the table, there should have been Gina Reinhart, should have been around there. You know, she's one of the biggest exporters and employers of people, and the taxes that she pays. It's a crying shame they didn't. Like I said, I don't trust them. The Labor Party are their spending spree, high immigration, cost of living, their climate change, and rolling this all out with transmission lines and everything like that. The country is going to be in financial stress, which we are going to see coming into the end of this year or next year. And if they put the mining tax on, and I know for a fact, the mining sector here, especially in Queensland, hit with the royalties in Queensland, they are doing it tough. It's costing them more to produce coal and export it than what they're getting for it. So a lot of the small mines are going under.
Senator, we were talking just a moment ago about Teal independent Monique Ryan and the Greens calling for Australia to follow the UK's lead and allow voting to be conducted by 16-year-olds. Now, you've raised teenagers. You've also seen politics up close. Do you think it's appropriate for 16-year-olds to be having a vote? God, no.
No way in the wide world would I give the 16-year-olds a vote. My God. You know, as you've said before, if the Parliament's made legislation, they can't even navigate this social services, you know, not social services, but the internet and now YouTube, and trying to protect them. A lot of these kids are actually so confused in the educational system with gender dysphoria, they can't even work out whether they're Arthur or Martha, male or female, and it's they, them, theirs, you know, and you want to give them the vote. My God, they're all, you know, living off their mothers, who are more interested in the iPhones, having the newest iPhone, or the designer wear gear and all the rest of it. This is what the Greens want to do. They brainwash them in the educational system, haven't come through, and they're actually going to get the vote. No one in the bloody wide world would I ever allow it to happen. Actually, I'm more inclined to say increase the vote to 21, because all they do is go through school their whole life, leave high school, go into the university, brainwashed again there, and then they wouldn't have, you know, what's day or night or what's going on in the country. And it shows with the protesters on the street. These kids out there protested against Israel, and you ask them, what's from us? Oh, we don't know. Have no idea. And you want to give them the vote? My God, heaven help us if our country been in the bloody drain.
Yeah, and what, which river to which sea, and, you know, when they're out there chanting all that, they've got absolutely no idea. I think that's a good point. Arthur or Martha, that's a very good point, Senator. Now, look, Parliament, of course, resumes this week for the very first time since Anthony Albanese was elected, and he's excited, apparently. This is what he said.
I'm quite excited about Parliament resuming. I am a nerd when it comes to Parliament. I actually enjoy the institution of Parliament. It's important we all respect it, and it's important that we make the most of it.
He's a self-confessed nerd, Senator. He's excited and ready to go.
I can't believe he actually said we should respect it. In the last Parliament, he pushed through 220 bills without debating it. He guillotined 220 bills. He has no respect for that Parliament, the members of Parliament. He doesn't debate the bills. It's all about control. That's what Anthony Albanese is. He's the most pathetic, weak leader I have ever seen in my life in politics. I'm sorry. And he's excited. My God, I'm dreading it.
Senator Pauline Hanson, that's why we like you. We're never in any doubt about what you think about any topic. It's a joy to talk to you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you. That's it. You know, that's what we like. She's straight to the point.
No reading between the lines.
No reading between the lines, and that's exactly what we like.